Wonderful. Thank you. Andy, we are so lucky and so gifted. Thank you. Good morning, Redondo Beach Center for Spiritual Living. My name is Valerie Reeves, and good morning. Welcome to all of you here and all of you on Zoom land or online there. Great to see you, hear you, know you, and experience your presence. Redondo Beach Center for Spiritual Living, where we are transforming lives, building dreams, and revealing love, where all we ask is that you remain completely open to changing your life by changing your mind. Welcome home. Glad you're here. So let's stand up and sing the congregational song. And I know that Michael Paul Smith is in the house, and he is going to lead us in this.
Y'all ready?
Here we go.
God is my source. God is my power. God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. God gives me everything I need. Love. Love is my source. Love is my power. Love gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. Love gives me everything. Joy. Joy is my source. Joy is my power. Joy gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. Joy gives me a little peace. Peace is my source. Peace is my power. Peace gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. Peace gives me everything God. God is my source. God is my power. God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. God gives me everything I need. God gives me everything I need. God gives me everything I need. Oh yeah. Thank you. You guys sound wonderful.
Michael Paul Smith in the house. That is awesome. Okay, so let's take a moment and allow ourselves to just get centered as we just breathe in the fullness of life, closing our eyes to any distractions, letting go of anything that does not serve us as we bring ourselves fully into this moment, knowing that God is absolutely our source. God is our power. That we just step into that oneness, that goodness, that godness, knowing that we are one with that amazing power that keeps the stars aligned, keeps the oceans flowing. That same power flows right where we are. I know it's where I am. I know it's where you are. We are one in this fantastic universe. As I speak my word and claim that today is the best day ever. That we just allow ourselves to be in the flow of life, knowing that the inner knower always knows, that it knows that it knows that it knows exactly the right and perfect places, the right and perfect spaces, the right and perfect responses each and every day, that we are in the right place at the right time, that we just celebrate the I am, that we are beautifully and brilliantly. As we step into that space of gratitude, I am so grateful for everyone here. I am grateful for my life, for this day, for the laughter, for the joy. Keeping that space of gratitude, I just release my word into the universal action of the law, knowing that all is well and all is divine as we anchor this in mind together by saying, and so it is. Thank you.
need a mic. You need a mic. How about this way?
Welcome to everyone who is here in the room. And hold it in my hand. I don't have it wired up all the time, but boy, I got used to it. So I just have to own up to that. Again, thank you for being here, and thank you for those of you who join us on YouTube. I noticed they're adding on quickly as I just checked it on my own iPad. So we're going to talk about what is going on with us today, and we actually have activities today. The amazing Angel Tree Project does conclude on this Sunday. And so this is not the dead last opportunity, but this is the end of the program. And we are gathering everything together to be able to share with the families. There are 40 families that we share with, 200 individuals. And I want to remind you that from its inception, the Angel Tree Project, which was actually begun by the couples group way back and even before this millennium, the inspiration for it came from the hospice group that we serve. And so we've always included at least 10 hospice families in the giving that we do. And I noticed that out on the tree, you can tell who they are. There's at least one member of the family that is in hospice. And so we appreciate everything you do. And if you are thinking of giving again, this would be the day to do that. This is one of those great opportunities where we have a chance to give something directly to people that we know are absolutely in need. So we thank you for just even considering doing that. On a happier note, too, is that we are doing the women's group's salad luncheon today right after services. We're calling it their holiday, or I'm calling it their holiday salad luncheon. They're going to be having some things for sale, so we can all look forward to seeing what it is that we might can buy that's over there in the event that they're putting together. It's beautifully decorated, and there'll be some really, really great food. A potluck is always one of the best ways to eat. At least in my life, it always has been. So we're also sharing that it's time to start considering those Christmas poinsettias. I filled out my first two today, and what occurred to me to do, so I'll just suggest, I am definitely going to do one for my granddaughter, but I may do one anonymously for someone that I appreciate. And it's sort of in keeping with what I was talking about last week, those random acts of kindness that maybe we can do. Maybe this is an opportunity to just someone that you've noticed that's doing a great job, and you just honor them with a poinsettia. It's just a seed that I wanted to plant. Anyway, today is the day. They're $10, and we will have those poinsettias right up here arranged beautifully, and you can know that one of those is one that you bought for someone else. And so we also are looking at what's coming up in the next week. We have both of our book groups are meeting. On Tuesday, we have the in-person group. The Untethered Soul is the book they're reading. And on Wednesday, we have the Zoom-attended one, meaning the work that we are reading on Wednesday morning is Learn to Live. And so if you need details about how to get in touch, it's in your program. And those of you who are on YouTube, I'm sure there's a banner across your pages as you take a look at that. Now, the book readings are on Tuesdays and Wednesdays, and also on Tuesday we have yoga, which is next door, and you know what to do. You need a mat, and it's $10 for the class, and it's a great, great class. I love going to that yoga class. On Wednesday, we have our Wednesday morning service. And this particular Wednesday morning, Reverend Valerie is going to be speaking. And of course, Reverend Valerie is speaking today as well. So it's a wonderful time on Wednesday morning. We've often called it our midweek pick-me-up. So if you're interested, you can join us on Wednesday in person or online as well. And so looking forward a little bit more, next Sunday, I am the speaker here on the platform, and our singer is going to be Dennis Bryan as we move forward. And on Friday the 16th, and I'm holding the flyer in my hand that you could get one like out there to take with you and to remind you. It's December the 16th. We are having a holiday band concert. There are more details about it, but it begins at 6. And they're inviting us to come at 5:30. We'll have some snacks, and it'll be just kind of a meet and greet and get ready for that holiday festivity. So pick up that flyer if you need to remember it, December the 16th, and that's Friday. And that it will be a joyous Friday way to continue celebrating the holiday season. And then we have Christmas Eve, of course, is coming up. And the lesson for Christmas Eve is a Christmas wish. And we also will have the singer, Dennis Bryan, is going to be our singer for a Christmas wish as well for that evening. It'll be a lovely, lovely evening. The candlelight service, we will have caroling beforehand. The service starts at 6:30, begins at 6:30, but before that we're going to have those sing-along carols, and so we're looking forward to having that fun as well. And so the big change that we are having this year is there is a Sunday coming up when we won't have service in the sanctuary, and it's Christmas Day. But we have come up with such a delightful idea. We're kind of giggle when we talk about it. I'm going to do my best not to talk about the details, but know there'll be music, know there'll be inspiration, and know that there'll be some surprises and fun. So that's going to be on Christmas Day. It's going to be shown throughout the day, but it begins at 11 a.m. on Christmas Day. So keep your pajamas on, keep your family around, and join us at 11 and have fun Christmas with us. So we will remind you that we are here in this building doing all kinds of things. We have proposals for lights that we're evaluating, and we want you to know how much we appreciate your donations that enable us to do what we do. And so we appreciate however you do that. And Amazon Smile is another option for all of us. Someone had asked at the annual meeting how much we made last year. We made over $400 last year, just like a donation of $400 that someone gave us or many of us, because I use Amazon Smile, and I know many of you do too. In bits and pieces, it accumulates. And so it's a lovely way. It's like free money that we give ourselves to give to our center. And so as we proceed with this service, I want to welcome up Mr. Michael Paul Smith, who's going to serenade us with his song.
Go serenade him, Michael Paul.
Oh, happy holidays, everyone. So good to be here with you here. It's the most wonderful time of the year, with the kids jingle belling and everyone telling you be of good cheer. It's the most wonderful time of the year. It's the happiest season of all, with those holiday greetings and gay happy meetings when friends come to call. It's the happiest season of all. There'll be parties for hosting, marshmallows for toasting, and caroling out in the snow. There'll be scary ghost stories and tales of the glories of Christmases long, long ago. It's the most wonderful time of the year. There'll be much mistletoeing, and hearts will be glowing when loved ones are near. It's the most wonderful time of the year. You know, it's the most wonderful time of the year. Yeah, with those holiday greetings and gay happy meetings when friends come to call. It really is the most wonderful time of the year. Just think about it. Give me a smile. There'll be parties for hosting, marshmallows for toasting, and caroling out in the snow. There'll be scary ghost stories and tales of the glories of Christmases long, long ago. It's the most wonderful time of the year. There'll be much mistletoeing, and hearts will be glowing when loved ones are near. It's the most wonderful time. It's the most marvelous time. It's the most wonderful time of the year.
Michael Paul, you are the best. Thank you. So good morning. Hey. Well, Reverend Valerie is speaking today, and what we're being asked to look at is belonging and community. So we need to ask ourselves what role we're playing in the many communities of our lives. And of course, when we think of community, it has to do with relationships, and all our relationships really begin with our relationships with ourselves. So seeing ourselves as a part of spirit allows us to acknowledge the gifts we've been given and to choose to share those with others as well. Sometimes we may look at current events in the world and see a lot of discord, of course, especially in our communities, but Ernest Holmes said in the Science of Mind text on page 187 that out of any chaos, we can produce harmony. It follows then that one of our goals can be to promote harmony in all our interactions with others. Several ideas in his book, Living the Science of Mind, which I just love, help us do this. On page 188, he said, "Go back to this central idea. I am one with God. All people are one with God. We all live in God. When we meet others, it is God I meet." Moreover, he says, if they have opinions that are different than ours, we must be flexible enough to recognize that their opinions are right for them, even though they don't fit into our scheme of things. Dr. Holmes, on page 243 of that same book, suggested that we start a spiritual chain reaction. He recommends saying to ourselves daily, "I know nothing but good can go out from me, and nothing but good can come back. It is my affirmative prayer," he said, "which I completely accept, that even as I pass people on the street, some silent influence of good shall reach from me to them." Einstein proved in 1935 that particles are entangled and respond non-locally outside of space and time, that a particle can instantly change another, even across a galaxy. He called our actions, he called that particular action spooky action at a distance. So in that light, our actions become profound, and we can choose to create harmony and enhance oneness by remaining engaged and fostering communication. Everything we do can create understanding in the world. So what we say and do then has potential always to affect others. What some practical ideas we can use to spread the light are, and how we can feel compassion for those around us, can be to share experiences with others, but not in a condescending way, but just in a connecting way. We can help others we encounter feel respected, of course, and appreciated. In all our interactions, we can choose to become aware of our tone of voice, facial expressions, choice of words, even if we're a little stressed, right? Our demeanor must project light. That is the only way for others to sense what is within. So please affirm with me that at this time of year especially, I see light in myself and others. So there, and so it is. Thank you.
We're going to stand for the...
No, they don't stand.
Oh, they're not standing. Oh, don't stand. Okay, well,
Well, you can stand if you want.
you can stand if you want. If you want, some choose to stand. It's okay. Our thoughts are prayers. Our thoughts are prayers, and we are always praying. Our thoughts are prayers. Be careful what you're saying. Seek a higher consciousness, a place of peacefulness, and know that God is always there. And every thought becomes a prayer. Our thoughts are prayers, and we are always praying. Our thoughts are prayers. Be careful what you're saying. Seek a higher consciousness, a place of peacefulness, and know that God is always there. Ooh. And every thought becomes a prayer. Thank you.
Beautiful. Good morning. Our thoughts are prayers. So my thought is I'm giving you all love. I don't know what's in here, but there's something. So if you want to grab love, you can grab that later. Or just grab the love. So I was thinking about when Michael Paul was singing, this is the most beautiful time of the year, the most wonderful time of the year. City sidewalks, busy sidewalks, dressed in holiday style. And there's that part of me, and I don't know about any of you, that is a little bah humbug. I'm working on it. Years ago, it's been interesting because having 4 children and trying to balance out the pressure of making sure everybody gets the same amount. Well, the daughter wants this, and that's very expensive, and he only wants this, so do I give him 2 or 3 gifts for what it costs for this, and trying to keep it all equal. And when my kids were in high school, they didn't really want to help trim the tree anymore. So it was up to me, and I thought, this is not my favorite thing. And it occurred to me, if I can't do something in love, then let's shake it up and do something else. So I started shaking up my Christmas and doing something else, because going to the stores and doing presents and feeling obligation. Anybody feel obligation? It's like, I gotta get all these people a present. Well, my present to you is love and seeing the highest and best in all of you. There's your present. Yay. Isn't that enough? That's enough. And being at that space of love, because when we get out there and we put that pressure on ourselves that I got to buy for every aunt and uncle and niece and sister and brother and nephew and parents and grandparents and friends, it can get very overwhelming. So my brother and I, years ago, when we were both single parents, he's got like 6 kids, I have 4, we started making a memory instead of doing the present thing. Now, I do give my kids, I Venmo them money, call them, do you need a card? No, we're good. Yay. Make it simple, make it simple. Because I found if I can't do it in love, if we're out there doing stuff in the world out of obligation, then we're not honoring ourselves. So stepping back from the, I have to do a tree, I have to get presents, and letting that go and saying, it's okay to do things different. It's okay to honor myself and keep myself in balance. Because what happens is when we put that pressure on ourselves, and we go out there and we're having to get, do, then we may not be as kind as we could be to people. And I see this all the time. People cutting in line, people, oh, this line is taking too long. And that was me. So I'm kidding. Well, all right, maybe a little. But finding that space where how can I be at Christmas time the space of love? Because to me, the Christmas spirit is acknowledging the love and the beauty of all the people in my life, and that's everyone in the world. So being at that space of love and peace and giving love and peace and not putting the pressure and the demand on oneself, that it's like, it's a celebration time. And I remember when I was a kid, it was so much fun. My grandmother would always want to go out, because she lived in the country, go out and cut down a tree. I just remember the snow in Nebraska being about 3 feet high and her losing her boot as she was walking. I'm like, oh, Grandma, get in the car, we'll get your boot. Little Cinderella. And then getting to her place and having hot cocoa and just having a magical time. Well, the magical time is still within us. Having that childlike spirit. It doesn't have to be about the gifts and give, buy, shop, unless you love that. Not my favorite thing. Now, my sister, on the other hand, it is her favorite thing. It's so funny because we're both from the same parents. We both had the same experience. We were talking about it the other day, that she shops all year round. She can hardly wait to get done with the Thanksgiving dinner so she can pull out all of her Christmas stuff and start decorating. And there are some like that. Thank you, Ruth. Thank you, those that do that. I appreciate it. I appreciate looking at other people's trees, other people's lights. It's not going to be something I do. But I can embrace and enjoy everybody else's. So we're talking about this, and she was at her mother-in-law's, because my sister and her husband have just moved to Oklahoma a couple years ago. My sister retired from 25 years of teaching, and she was at her mother-in-law's, invited me over, because they live over in Fountain Valley. And I was there on Thanksgiving morning, and I heard my sister saying, oh, Dan, that's her husband, he's retiring this year. So, Christmas won't be as big as we normally do. And then somebody else had come, and she's like, oh, just need to tell you, Dan's retiring, so Christmas isn't going to be as big as we normally do. So a lot of people there, so I didn't really say much until she called me from home. She got home, she was excited, I got all my Christmas stuff out, and I got to remind you, Christmas isn't going to be as big as normal. I said, stop. This is a story I don't like. Why are you telling this story? That job is not the source of your income. And we sang it this morning. God is my source. God is my power. God is everything. And my sister just got done writing 4 children's books that she's out there selling. I'm like, what about that? Your consciousness is equal to your abundance. Where's your consciousness? What are you saying? When I was up in the high desert in Apple Valley, a bunch of us were going to the conference that CSL, Centers for Spiritual Living, holds once a year. And so we all got matching T-shirts that it says, consciousness, up yours. Right? Sometimes, it's great. Sometimes we just need to up our consciousness and remember that God is our source and do Christmas the way you want to do it. Now, one of the things I do love this time of year, of course, getting together, holiday parties, the fun, and I love all of the Christmas shows. We've got those wonderful Hallmark Christmas love stories. We've got a Christmas story that's funny, but my ultimate favorite is It's a Wonderful Life. Has anybody watched that yet this year? Okay, not yet, but it's going to happen. And if you've never seen It's a Wonderful Life, I don't know where you've been. But the old black and white with Donna Reed and Jimmy Stewart. It's so great. And every year I watch it, so I'm watching it. And you know the great technology, and spoiler alert if you've not seen it, I'm going to talk about it a little bit, so here we go. The great black and white technology that they have, they just got like little lights, and that's the angel. And they go to the head angel and they say, Joseph, somebody is praying. All these people are praying for George Bailey. We've got to do something. So he said the next angel up for their wings is Clarence. So Clarence comes and he's like, okay, everybody's praying for George Bailey. Why? What's the matter? Is he sick? No, worse. He's discouraged. Worse than being sick, he's discouraged. And he's getting ready to throw away God's greatest gift, which is his gift of life. And so Clarence goes down and he jumps in the water so that George will save him instead of jumping in the water himself to, throw himself off the bridge. And then as George Bailey is getting himself dried off, he's talking about his life. And Clarence said, well, that wouldn't do anybody good if you threw your life away. And he said, you're right. It would have been better if I'd have never been born. So Clarence is like, let's see it. So then he takes him through his whole entire life. What if I had never been born? Now, all of us may have asked that question before. You do not know how many lives you've touched. And George Bailey goes through all of his life, and it's like, how many lives he touched. This person is gone because he wasn't there to save him. This situation happened because he wasn't there to save it. The whole town was different because he wasn't there to influence it. Now, none of us can really go back and look at our whole life and say, oh, if I wasn't here, this wouldn't have happened or that wouldn't have happened. But there's so many things that you can't even know that you've influenced just by being here. Your life is important. It's a wonderful life. Ernest Holmes said, the greatest gift that life could have given you is yourself. You are a spontaneous, self-choosing position in life. There is nothing before you that is any greater. You are it. So embrace your life. Get to that space of balance where knowing that God is coming down through you, that you're in balance, and you're doing the things that you love. Do all things in love. Be at that space. Love, love, love. Now, being at that love space, sometimes we question, am I in the right space at the right time? I'm knowing that my inner knower always guides and directs me to the right and perfect space. Isn't it great to get a sign? So I was in the youth wing the other day, and I'm going through the files and the folders, and in there, in one of the lesson folders, was a 2009 November creative thought. Back in the day, Science of Mind had the Science of Mind magazine, and we had creative thought. And that's where practitioners and ministers would send in a treatment. If they liked it, they'd put it in the book. So I'm thinking, well, this looks like a familiar cover. I'm probably in there. So I'm going through, and smack there in the centerfold, Catherine McKinney, and on the next page, Valerie Reeves. When we were practitioners, I'm like, it's a sign. And working together and being there. And fun fact, I would always use my son Andrew, his quote, because he got his degree in philosophy. He's a little poet. And so I did make copies of that page, and I put it on the back table where there's a little Christmas tree if anybody wants to see that. Now, also in that book, it was interesting because on Thursday, when practitioners Monica and Mark, Ruth, they do a discussion group. And Mark had done a quote by Viktor Frankl that I had not heard. In fact, I better get it correct. Between the stimulus and response, there is grace. In that grace is our power to choose our response. In our response lies our growth and our freedom. And I was thinking about that because it is just a split second between a stimulus or something happening, and we have the opportunity to react or respond. Well, while I'm going through the creative thought from November 2009, a couple pages later is the Viktor Frankl quote that Mark had done. I thought, there's only one mind. It's all good. And how great to be able to have that and think about it, especially in this time of year where we're thinking about what works for us, what doesn't work for us. Do I react? Do I respond? The way I want you to think about these two words is if you go to the doctor's office and they give you a medication and they say, oh, you're having a reaction to the medication, that is usually a negative. Where if they say, oh, you're responding to the medication, that is a positive. So when something happens and we have that split-second moment to respond or react, think about it before we open our mouth, because it's really easy to, something happens and we just want to say something, but take a breath and respond appropriately. Were you naughty or nice? Oh, we were nice. And also remembering that in this philosophy, we do not teach that God is an old man in the sky. It is an energy that flows through all of us. And in that energy, that Christmas, that Christmas, that love space that we are, we have the opportunity to create our lives the way we want, getting clear on it. And making sure that we have that clarity. There was a couple, and they were walking on the beach, and the wave came in, and they brought this bottle. Oh, so they run, and they open up the bottle, and poof, comes a genie. And he says, you get one wish, each of you. And so the woman, she says, oh, I've always wanted to travel the world. I would love to travel all over the world. Poof. He gave her a ticket to travel the world. And the husband, he said, I've always wanted a wife that's 30 years younger than me. Poof. He became 90. Right? You get what you ask for. Clarity. Let's have that clarity. Let's make sure that we are embracing the I am, that we are beautifully and brilliantly. And creating Christmas the way we want it to be, and having that childlike spirit. I get the gift of life every day. I get the gift of smiles every day. I get the gift of knowing that wonderful things are unfolding. Beauty transcends my mind into a state of pure bliss. Hearts merge to create a work of love. As time disappears, we embrace love and bliss and defy all limits. My youngest child, Andrew Rouse. So making sure that this holiday season, we are doing the things that we love, that we're excited about life, we're excited and getting clear about what we do want. And celebrate Christmas the way you want. Do all things in love. If you can give and go get these presents and go shopping and it's fun for you, I say do it. And if not, then it's like, okay, let me do something else. Knowing that all is well, that we come from love in this space, that we get excited about who we are and the direction we're going. So let's take all of this beautiful, wonderful, loving energy and go inside our heart of hearts as we just breathe in the fullness of life. Going into that wonderful space of the I am, knowing that this is the most wonderful, magical time of the year, as is this moment and the next moment, that we embrace love, we embrace life, we embrace our families, the smiles, the laughter. As we take that childlike spirit with excited energy, waking up every day like a child wakes up on Christmas morning, excited, what's next? What is my mission? What am I to do? How is my life? What am I creating? What are the seeds I'm creating today? Creating seeds of magic and love and excitement. As we go to that space of gratitude and staying in that space of gratitude, I am so grateful for each and every person here. I am so grateful for a beautiful women's potluck today. I am so grateful for all the people joining us, all the people in the sound of my voice. As I send love to the universe, knowing that as we give, it comes back to us fully blessed. In gratitude, I just release my word knowing all is well. And so it is. Thank you. Thank you.
I remembered. Thank you so much, Reverend Valerie. I mean, can we just say thank you again? That was lovely. Reverend Valerie and I have known each other for a while, but I find out more things about her every time I hear her speak. And it's just a delightful story to keep saying. And so this is the time where we return to the one source, some of our bounty. And this is the time that we bless everything that we do. And before we do that, we read or we share how we're doing with the mission statement, which is to honor your presence, to nurture your spirit, and to enrich the life of all we serve. And this letter is interesting to me. I have been anxious about the holidays, not because of COVID, though I do think about that, but because of a few family members who are so opinionated and argumentative. I don't want to stay home or avoid my relatives. I just don't know what to do. I heard a lesson that I've heard many times, but heard it again recently. I can't change anyone but myself. Related to this is that I can't change anyone else. I did talk to someone about this because I can't stop others from saying things to me that I don't like or agree with. The suggestion was to just excuse myself. I could say, I don't want to hear this, or I could say, I don't agree with you. I decided I was not going to let others keep me from enjoying the whole holiday season, enjoying the whole family just as they are, and I'm going, and I am going to be brave. Thank you for helping me, the wonderful people at Redondo Beach. Thank you. I love that letter. And so as the ushers are coming forth, we are going to share our blessing of our donations. Divine love consecrates my gift. It goes forth to heal, to bless, and to prosper all those who give and all those who receive. I rejoice in the sharing of my good, and I release my gift with love, and so it is.
I believe the children are future. Teach them well and let them lead the way. Show them all the beauty they possess inside. Give them a sense of pride to make it easier. Let the children's laughter remind us how it used to be. Everybody searching for a hero. People need someone to look up to. I never found anyone who fulfills that need. A lonely place to be. And so I learned to depend on me. I decided long ago never to walk in anyone's shadow. If I fail, if I succeed, at least I live as I believe. No matter what they take from me, they can take away my dignity, because the greatest love of all is happening to me. I found the greatest love of all inside of me. The greatest love of all is easy to achieve when you learn how to love yourself. Why, that's the greatest love of all. And if by chance that special place that you've been dreaming of leads you to a lonely place, well then find your strength in love. In love.
Thank you, Michael Paul. Michael Paul has been a wonderful singer here for so long, and so we thank you so much for your voice and for your longevity and support us. Merry Christmas to you, sir. Thank you. And of course, we always appreciate the wonderful Andy Howe, who has puts together our singers and makes it all delightful for us, as well as the wonderful keyboard that he plays for us. This is the time of our blessing, and I want to say before we move on through that, just to remind you of the wonderful luncheon that our women's group have put together here. The inspiration for this group is because this first Sunday in December was very often our craft ladies' time, where they had made lots of things, and that's why they're offering certain things for sale. I'm wearing earrings that I bought at a crafts fair somewhere along the line in honor of what they're doing. And so they're just a number of people who are giving back in the way that they want to do to serve this center. And I would appreciate it. We are talking about gratitude, and Reverend Valerie referred to it, and I also think that taking time to just say something to someone that you appreciate what they're doing is such a wonderful thing. There's so much going on in the world that taking a moment to just be thoughtful and kind is such a lovely thing to do. Mix and mingle next door. Have a good time and just be grateful for somebody, something, and allow it to bubble up through you. I invite that experience for you. And so let us join in our blessing, knowing that this blessing is for the world, and there are so many people that are in our want, even if they don't know it, of the blessings that we send. You may choose one person in particular, or you may choose a group of people. But do this from deep within your heart, knowing that it goes just like those magical things that Bernice talked about in her lesson. That idea that when something happens, it is heard where it is sent to be. Join with me. I know divine love enfolds me. Divine light leads me. Divine life lives in me. Divine wisdom inspires me. Divine compassion expresses through me. And divine power protects me. All that I am is Spirit's life and expression. It is good and very good. With deep joy and generosity filling me, I go forward now in sacred service, supporting a compassionate world that works for all. I move through my days with grace and ease, in peace and love, in health and wellness, in fullness and plenty, and in loving relationship with all. What I now know for myself, and with blessing and in deep gratitude, I know for all life. There is only God. There is only God. There is only God. So with that energy, let us rise and sing our wonderful peace song as people come up to share.